Hello everyone. Welcome to Power of Education. Today, we will be interpreting the book Outlive, The Science and Art of Longevity by Bill Gifford. This book delves into the scientific study of aging and provides readers with valuable insights on how to live longer and healthier lives. The author covers a broad range of topics, including genetics, nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle factors that affect longevity. The book also includes chapters on the history of longevity research, the biology of aging, and strategies for extending lifespan. Introduction: Can we outlive our parents? The book begins with an introduction that sets the stage for the rest of the book. Gifford poses the question of whether or not we can outlive our parents, noting that while previous generations have experienced significant gains in life expectancy, the trend has slowed in recent years. He highlights the fact that many people today are struggling with chronic diseases that can impact both quality and length of life. Gifford then goes on to discuss the potential reasons for these trends and introduces the concept of compression of morbidity, which suggests that it may be possible to delay the onset of age-related diseases and extend healthy lifespan. Chapter 1: The Great Quest for Immortality. Gifford notes that while the quest for immortality may seem like a fanciful and unrealistic goal, the desire to live longer and healthier lives is a natural human impulse. The chapter begins with a discussion of the mythical Fountain of Youth, a legendary spring that was said to have the power to restore youth and vitality to those who drank from it. Gifford notes that the legend of the Fountain of Youth has persisted for centuries and has inspired many people to search for ways to extend their lives. Gifford then goes on to discuss some of the early attempts to achieve immortality, including the elixirs and potions of alchemists and the search for the philosopher's stone. He also explores the role of religion in the pursuit of immortality, noting that many religious traditions offer the promise of eternal life. The chapter then turns to the modern era and the scientific pursuit of longevity. Gifford notes that while the idea of extending human lifespan may have seemed like science fiction in the past, advances in medical science and technology have made it a realistic possibility. He explores some of the key discoveries and breakthroughs in the field of longevity research, including the role of caloric restriction and genetic manipulation in extending lifespan. Gifford also discusses some of the challenges and ethical concerns associated with the pursuit of longevity, including the potential for inequality and the risk of unintended consequences. He notes that while the quest for immortality may never be fully realized, the desire to live longer and healthier lives will continue to drive scientific research and innovation. Chapter 2: The Science of Aging, the Body. The chapter begins with an overview of some of the key changes that occur in the body as we age, including a decline in cellular function, the accumulation of damage to DNA and proteins, and changes in hormone levels. Gifford notes that aging is a complex and multifactorial process that is influenced by a wide range of factors, including genetics, lifestyle choices, and environmental factors. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the key theories of aging, including the free radical theory, which suggests that damage to cellular components caused by free radicals contributes to aging, and the telomere theory, which proposes that the shortening of telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of chromosomes, is a key driver of the aging process. The chapter also discusses some of the latest research in the field of aging, including the role of inflammation and immune function in aging, and the potential for targeted interventions to slow or reverse the aging process. Gifford notes that while there is still much to learn about the science of aging, there are also many promising avenues for research and intervention. He explores some of the strategies that have been proposed for extending healthy lifespan, including caloric restriction, exercise, and the use of drugs and supplements. The chapter also highlights the importance of genetics in determining lifespan and explores some of the genetic factors that have been linked to longevity, including variations in the FOXO3 gene and the mitochondrial genome. Chapter 3: The Science of Aging, the Brain. The chapter begins with an overview of some of the key changes that occur in the brain as we age, including a decline in cognitive function, memory, and attention. Gifford notes that while some of these changes are a normal part of the aging process, others may be indicative of more serious conditions, such as dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the key theories of brain aging, including the role of inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain, and the potential for neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself in response to new experiences, to counteract some of the negative effects of aging. The chapter also discusses some of the latest research in the field of brain aging, including the use of brain imaging techniques to study the changes that occur in the brain over time, and the development of new drugs and interventions to slow or reverse the cognitive decline associated with aging. Gifford notes that while there is still much to learn about the science of brain aging, there are also many promising avenues for research and intervention. He explores some of the strategies that have been proposed for maintaining cognitive function and preventing dementia, including exercise, cognitive training, and the use of dietary supplements. The chapter also highlights the importance of social connections and mental stimulation in maintaining brain health and explores some of the social and environmental factors that have been linked to cognitive decline. Chapter 4. The Biology of Resilience. The chapter begins with an overview of some of the key factors that contribute to resilience, including genetics, lifestyle factors, and social support. Gifford notes that while some people may be naturally more resilient than others, resilience can also be cultivated through various strategies and interventions. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the biological mechanisms that underlie resilience, including the role of stress hormones, the immune system, and the gut microbiome. He notes that while these systems are designed to respond to stress and help us cope with adversity, chronic stress can lead to dysregulation and contribute to a range of health problems. The chapter also discusses some of the latest research in the field of resilience, including the development of new interventions and technologies that can help to promote resilience and mitigate the negative effects of stress. Gifford notes that while there is still much to learn about the biology of resilience, there are also many promising avenues for research and intervention. He explores some of the strategies that have been proposed for promoting resilience, including mindfulness practices, social support, and the use of certain drugs and supplements. The chapter also highlights the importance of resilience in promoting healthy aging and preventing age-related diseases, and explores some of the social and environmental factors that can help to promote resilience in older adults. Chapter 5. The End of Aging, the Telomere Story. The chapter begins with an explanation of what telomeres are and how they work. Telomeres are the protective caps on the ends of chromosomes, and they play an important role in maintaining the stability of our genetic material. However, telomeres shorten each time a cell divides, eventually leading to cell death or senescence. Gifford goes on to discuss some of the key findings in telomere research, including the link between telomere length and a range of age-related diseases, such as cancer and heart disease. He also explores some of the strategies that have been proposed for maintaining telomere length and promoting healthy aging, including lifestyle factors such as diet and exercise, as well as the use of certain supplements and medications. The chapter also delves into some of the controversies and debates in the field of telomere research. Gifford notes that while some researchers believe that telomere shortening is a key driver of aging, others argue that it may simply be a biomarker of aging rather than a cause. Gifford also explores some of the ethical considerations surrounding telomere research, including the potential for telomere-based interventions to exacerbate social inequalities and the need for careful regulation of telomere-related products and services. Chapter 6. The Gut Microbiome, the Key to Health and Longevity. The chapter begins with an overview of what the gut microbiome is and how it works. The gut microbiome is a vast and complex ecosystem of microorganisms that live in our intestines, and it plays a key role in a range of physiological processes, including digestion, immune function, and brain health. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the latest research in the field of microbiome research, including the link between the gut microbiome and a range of health conditions, such as obesity, diabetes, and depression. He notes that while much of this research is still in its early stages, the findings suggest that the gut microbiome may play a key role in promoting health and preventing disease. The chapter also discusses some of the factors that can influence the composition and function of the gut microbiome, including diet, exercise, and exposure to antibiotics and other medications. Gifford notes that while these factors can have a profound impact on the gut microbiome, there is still much to learn about how to manipulate the microbiome in ways that promote health and longevity. Gifford also explores some of the potential strategies and interventions for manipulating the gut microbiome, including probiotics, prebiotics, and fecal microbiota transplantation. He notes that while these interventions hold promise, there are also many challenges and uncertainties associated with them, including the potential for unintended consequences and the need for careful monitoring and regulation. Chapter 7. The Blue Zones, the world's longevity hotspots. The chapter begins with an overview of the concept of blue zones, which are regions where people live significantly longer than the global average. Gifford notes that researchers have identified several regions around the world that meet the criteria for blue zones, including Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California. Gifford goes on to explore some of the key characteristics of blue zones, including a plant-based diet, regular physical activity, strong social connections, and a sense of purpose and meaning in life. He notes that while these factors may not guarantee longevity, they are consistently associated with longer and healthier lives in blue zone regions. The chapter also discusses some of the challenges and limitations of the blue zone concept, including the potential for cultural and social biases in the selection of blue zone regions and the need for caution in extrapolating findings from these regions to other parts of the world. Gifford also explores some of the potential strategies and interventions for promoting longevity and health in non-blue zone regions, including the cultivation of healthy lifestyle habits and the creation of supportive social and environmental conditions. Chapter 8. Life Extension, What Works and What Doesn't. The chapter begins with an overview of the history of life extension research, from early attempts at alchemy and elixirs of life to more recent scientific investigations into the biology of aging. Gifford notes that while there have been many promising findings in the field of life extension, there are also many challenges and uncertainties associated with these interventions. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the most promising approaches to life extension, including calorie restriction, exercise, and pharmaceutical interventions such as rapamycin and metformin. He notes that while these interventions have shown promise in animal models and some human studies, there is still much to learn about their long-term safety and effectiveness. The chapter also discusses some of the more controversial and unproven approaches to life extension, including the use of supplements and anti-aging treatments such as hormone replacement therapy and stem cell therapies. Gifford notes that while some of these interventions may have some benefits, there is still much debate and uncertainty about their effectiveness and safety. Gifford also explores some of the ethical and social implications of life extension research, including the potential for exacerbating existing social and economic inequalities and the need for careful consideration of the implications of extending the human lifespan. Chapter 9. Supplements, Snake Oil or Fountain of Youth? The chapter begins with an overview of the history of the supplement industry, from the early days of vitamins and minerals to the current proliferation of products claiming to boost health and extend life. Gifford notes that while there are some supplements that have shown promise in scientific studies, many are based on dubious claims and lack solid scientific evidence to support their effectiveness. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the most popular categories of supplements, including antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and probiotics. He notes that while some of these supplements may have some benefits, there is still much debate and uncertainty about their effectiveness and safety. The chapter also discusses some of the challenges and limitations of supplement research, including the difficulty of conducting well-controlled studies and the potential for biased or misleading claims from supplement manufacturers. Gifford also explores some of the potential risks associated with supplements, including the potential for interactions with prescription medications and the risk of contamination with harmful substances. Chapter 10. Aging and Our Emotions. The chapter begins with an overview of the emotional changes that can occur with aging, including the potential for increased positive emotions such as contentment and decreased negative emotions such as anxiety and anger. Gifford notes that while these changes may be influenced by a variety of factors, including biological and social factors, there is still much to be learned about the underlying mechanisms involved. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the ways in which emotional well-being can be promoted in older adults, including social engagement, exercise, and cognitive training. He notes that while these interventions have shown promise in some studies, there is still much to be learned about their long-term effectiveness and how they may be tailored to individual needs. The chapter also discusses some of the emotional challenges associated with aging, including the potential for social isolation and loss of independence. Gifford notes that while these challenges may be common, they can also be addressed through a variety of interventions, including social support, mental health counseling, and home modification. Gifford also explores some of the cultural and societal factors that may influence the emotional experiences of older adults, including ageism and stereotypes about aging. He notes that while these factors may be difficult to address, there is a growing recognition of the importance of promoting positive attitudes toward aging and older adults. Chapter 11. Technology and Aging. The chapter begins with an overview of some of the technological innovations that are currently being developed and tested for use by older adults, including wearable devices, smart home technology, and telemedicine. Gifford notes that while these technologies have the potential to promote health and independence in older adults, there are also potential risks and challenges associated with their use. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the key factors that may influence the adoption and effectiveness of technology in older adults, including accessibility, affordability, and ease of use. He notes that while some older adults may be hesitant to adopt new technologies, others may be highly motivated and eager to learn and use these tools. The chapter also discusses some of the ethical considerations associated with the use of technology in aging, including issues of privacy and data security. Gifford notes that as more older adults use technology in their daily lives, it will be increasingly important to ensure that their personal information and health data are protected. Gifford also explores some of the potential limitations and drawbacks of technology use in aging, including the potential for social isolation and the risk of over-reliance on technology. He notes that while technology can be a valuable tool for promoting health and independence in older adults, it is important to ensure that these tools are used in conjunction with other interventions, such as social support and physical activity. Chapter 12. The Future of Aging, a New Era of Health and Longevity. The chapter begins with an overview of some of the demographic and societal changes that are driving the need for new approaches to aging, including the aging of the baby boomer generation and the growing burden of age-related diseases. Gifford notes that while these changes present significant challenges, they also offer opportunities for innovation and growth. Gifford then goes on to explore some of the technological and scientific advances that are currently being developed and tested for use in aging, including gene editing, stem cell therapies, and artificial intelligence. He notes that while these technologies are still in their early stages of development, they have the potential to revolutionize the way we approach aging and age-related diseases. The chapter also discusses some of the policy and societal changes that may be needed to support healthy aging, including improved access to healthcare, increased investment in research, and more inclusive and age-friendly communities. Gifford notes that while these changes may be difficult to achieve, they are necessary for promoting health and longevity in older adults. Gifford also explores some of the ethical considerations associated with the future of aging, including issues of equity, access, and privacy. He notes that as new technologies and approaches to aging emerge, it will be increasingly important to ensure that these tools are accessible to all and that they are used in ways that respect the dignity and autonomy of older adults. Conclusion. Overall, Outlive provides an informative and engaging look at the science of aging, as well as the cultural and societal implications of this important issue. It is a must-read for anyone interested in promoting health and longevity in themselves and others.